Good morning, everyone. We are from Group 2. Today we are going to present the titles of the speech that we had analyzed, which is Why Women Should Tell the Story of Humanity. So my name is Do Sing Yi, metric number 271790. I will going to start with the introductions. For your information, the orator is Jude Khalid. She is the mother of two, director, and also a feminist. Well, for the first impression, I know that it's too stronger for feminists, but my dear audience, please be centrist. She is the founder of WOW, which is also known as the Women's of World Festival. She grew up by not thinking about the gender limitations, but at university she was told that director was not something women did. One lecturer memorably told her there were three directors, one is lesbian, one is retired, and one is committed suicide. Well, admittedly, the reality is the majority of the canon is created by men. And if the social culture is returning over and over again, this idea that the creativity is male, and it will penetrate absolutely everything else, and public should do something right now. Therefore, Jude Kelly opined that the ways of interpreting from different perspective view and its skills affect how the society to look upon humanities and story. Therefore, women and men are obligated to build a gender equal world. Now I will pass to my member, Payton.
Good day everyone, my name is Payton with the metric number 2699553. Now I'm going to explain the first question in the speech analysis, which is how does the speaker gain the attention and interest of the audience? Before I start my explanation, as we know, gain the attention and interest of the audience is vital because it will show the primary success of a speech. In the speech of Why Women Should Tell the Story of Humanity, the speaker Jude Kelly has used four methods to gain the attention and interest of the audience. First, the speaker Jude Kelly used the eye contact method to gain the attention and interest of the audience. For instance, Jude Kelly watched the eyes and face of the audience to gain the initial attention of the audience. Besides that, Jude Kelly also questioned the audience to get their attention and interest. At the beginning of the speech, in the first sentence of the speech, Jude Kelly threw a rhetorical question to the audience, where she asked, why do we think the story by men are deemed to be universally important and story by women are thought to be merely about women? In this, when the speaker throw a question to the audience in the speech, it means give the chance to the audience to think about the question and they will answer it mentally. And this means that they will sink into the topic of the speech and it shows that the speaker successfully gained the attention of the audience. Besides, in addition, Jude Kelly also used telling story method to gain the attention and interest of the audience. After Jude Kelly threw a question to the audience, she started to share her experience and a story where she created a festival called World Festival Women of the World and her traveling experience to the algae cave in Somaliland in Africa. Besides, during the speech, the speaker also shared the story of E.T. and Hamlet to relate with the speech topics. The different tone used in telling a story can catch and arouse the attention and interest of the audience. Last but not least, visual ad method also used by the speaker or Jude Kelly to gain the attention and interest of the audience. During the speech, the speaker showed the picture that she took at the algae cave in Somaliland in Africa and some little painting in the algae cave to draw the attention of the audience. This because as we know, the picture can enhance the impact of the work. So, in short, I conclude that these four methods used by Jude Kelly include eye contact, questioning the audience, telling story, and visual ads are used by the speaker in this speech to gain the attention of the audience. So that's all for my parts. I will pass to the next presenter for the following parts. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tejai, and my metric number is 271264. So I will present about the question 5. In giving a speech, one of the main objectives of a speaker is to deliver a problem-solving scenarios content, beginning with her grandmother's story, her mom's story, and her story about how she noticed that she never met fought for women to have rights, get a work, get education, have progress. Jude Carey using a good way, especially her example to show how women have no right to be recognized. She stated her experience about when she went to the last skill cave and looked at a little picture. She wondered who painted the youthful figure, but the answer is women did not paint this picture. Then the curator of the cave did say, women don't do this thing. Men make these marks. Women don't. Jude also sharing the story about E.T. and Hamlet. Two children faces, Ruby and Caroline, have different expressions when she shares about this story. Ruby very excited, but Caroline cried because Caroline felt humiliated and spurned when she is not invited to save the E.T. Besides, she also mentioned about she wants to be a theater director when she was a young girl. However, her male lecturer wants to humiliate her and giving some bad examples. For example, well, there are three women directors in Britain, he said. There's John Knight, who a lesbian, there's John Littlewood, who retired, and there's Boo's good buddy, who just killed herself. So which of those three would you like to be? So that's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Go Jie with matrix number 271581. Today, I'm going to share about the type of connectives used by Jude Kelly in her speech. The first one is internal preview. Speaker use internal preview to inform their audience what will come next in the speech and what can they expect for the content. For example, Jude Kelly said, I want to tell you about two examples of stories that are thought to be of universal importance, E.T. and Hamlet. So the audience will know she is going to talk about E.T. and Hamlet later in her speech. The next one is internal summaries. Internal summaries is highlight the previous material that is already in the speech and remind the audience what has been addressed. Jude Kelly has told why public should make young girls and women become storytellers. From the example in the speech, she said we should let young girls and women know their stories really matter. If they cannot stand in center space and speak behalf of the group, they can only offer their goods to a small group, and it will make their economic power become lesser. It is because the reach of audience is lesser, and of course, their credit will become less as an artist. Jude Kelly encouraged the female to become storyteller as she believed that women can tell the story of humanity. That's all for me, thank you. And I will pass to the next presenter.
Good day, sir. My name is Dan Kelly with matrix number 271389. Now, let me continue our presentation to question 7, which is explain the speaker's voice during the speech. Based on what we have learned from the textbook, there are 8 aspects of voice that should be controlled by a speaker. The first aspect is volume. From watching Jude Kelly's speech, it can be seen that She was able to control and adjust her volume at a normal range and can be clearly heard. The next aspect is pitch. She was using inflection technique in her speech. For example, when she talked about the expression of her daughter Caroline after watching to the story of E.T., she changed to a sad and disappointed tone to imitate Caroline's expressions in order to convey the sad feeling of her daughter to her audiences. The third aspect is rate. The rate of Jude Kelly's speech is roughly between 150 to 170 words per minute. She has reached the ideal rate of speech. The fourth aspect is pauses. There are several pauses in her speech. For example, at 1 minute 5 seconds, at 3 minutes 42 seconds, and so on. One of the examples is she paused a little bit at 3 minutes 42 seconds before she started to share the watching experience of her two children towards the story of E.T. Next, vocal variety. Instead of speaking with a flat and unchanging voice, she was delivering her speech with excellent vocal variety. That means she was able to manage her volume, pitch, and rate very well. Next, pronunciation. There was a French word in her speech that it was conservatoire. She can pronounce this French word correctly and she didn't use her accent to pronounce this word. The seventh aspect is articulation. There was no misarticulation in her speech. She didn't misarticulate the word want to into wanna. For example, she said, I want to tell you instead of saying, I wanna tell you. The last aspect is dialect. It can be determined that she was using British English in her speech because she has a British accent. For example, when she pronounced a word talk as talk, sound like the pronunciation in British English. In contrast, this word will be pronounced as talk in American English. That's all for my part. Then I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
So in conclusion, regardless of where you live in, gender equality is fundamental human rights. So all of you might think about, why should the gender equality matter to me? Hey, by not saying I'm a female, by advancing the gender equality is critical to all areas of a healthy society, from reducing poverty to promoting the health, education, protection, and the well-being of boys and girls. Therefore, we have to find a way of stopping young girls and women feeling not that their story doesn't matter, but they are not allowed to be the storyteller. The message they're trying to deliver by Jude Kelly reminded of us. Think about what we can do and contribute a little for the society. So, the Eleanor Roosevelt quoted that in small places close to home, even so close and so small that they cannot be seen on any maps of the world, unless these rights have meanings there, they have little meanings anywhere. Without considered citizens' actions to uphold them close to home, we shall look in vain for the progress in the larger world. The civilization is getting enhanced, but not backwards. So please stop this social culture getting viral, and the worst situation might be seen in the future is the girls and the women lost their human rights without their consciousness. All these are undeniable facts. Therefore, women or men should step forward and fight for the gender equality. That's all for Group 2. Thanks for listening.